welcome to the Transformational Podcast, a conversation between brothers about practical ways faith is impacting our lives. We invite you to join us on this journey as we are learning to let faith transform the way we live. We are glad you are with us today and look forward to sharing our journey with you. Now let's jump in. Welcome to the Transformational Podcast. We are so glad you're with us tonight. We are already having too much fun as we bring another podcast to you guys. Chris,
Robert's getting toward the end of the year.
It is. It absolutely is.
It's the holiday season.
La-di-da and whoop-de-doo.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking.
Huh. Hey, you know one of the things I noticed though, if you're not watching, Chris has got two things. He thinks I'm going to tell you about his upside down microphone. But before we talk about his upside down microphone, Chris, we got to talk about that new Christmas tree in the back there.
Oh yeah, hold on.
The one, the white one.
Yeah, right there, dude.
Buddy.
I was just bringing extra spirit cheer.
Dude,
Listen,
we had
the best way.
That was my favorite.
Yeah, this is actually. I got to tilt my head the right way.
Yeah, I can see it. It's under your hat bill now.
Yeah, it's one that was passed down in Julie's family, and I was like, "Yeah, we want that," because that was literally my favorite growing up.
Yeah, it was fun. Dude. You have the little green one. You put the little things in. You turn the light on.
The white one's kind of cool too.
I like the white
out a little bit.
It's awesome. Now, what we really need to get to, Chris. So,
what?
Chris is got a new microphone stand, which is great. I'm glad you got that. But he put his microphone on it upside down.
It is not upside down. It is the right way. It is the right way.
So if you're watching, if you're watching, you know it's upside down. But if you're not watching, you can see that it's upside down.
Let me explain why it's not upside down.
Go ahead.
Number one, the mute button is right here. It's super easy to touch now.
Yeah.
Whereas for you have to reach inside this thing, and that gets clunky. And I'm not trying to be clunky. I'm trying to make it just super smooth and stuff. So this, and then if you look at where the cords go into the microphone, the one that goes, it's closer to the direction you want it to go. I'm just saying, man.
Hey, if you want to know what it was like living with Chris growing up, you have literally just figured it out.
Listen,
this is what it was like living with Chris growing up, right here.
I'm just saying, I've found the best way, and
Yeah, no, it's funny. No, I like it. Hey, Chris. We didn't talk about this before we started, but I think this now is as good as time as any.
I knew you were going to do this.
How about them Aggies?
Hey, listen. There's a lot going on here. All right.
Go ahead.
All right. Number one, best season we've had in decades.
It was. I'll give you that.
And Robert, I keep receipts. All right. Okay. There were people who called for the Aggies going 6-6 this year.
Okay. Yeah.
And then some people
Barrett said they're going all the way.
All the time.
Okay.
Then it was like 8-4.
Okay.
And then when we got to 10 wins, everybody's like, but look at the loss, the wins, and look at the teams. Yeah, we got 5 coaches fired this season.
Yeah, you did.
Right? So
you did.
I'm just saying,
that's a record in and of itself.
Yes,
it's a record in and of itself.
And then we went and played Miami, which I know they had a couple not so great losses, but they also had some decent wins. And quite frankly, they're actually pretty good. Their defensive line is beast. Now,
yeah. It was a big defensive game today for sure.
Could not get anything going.
Yeah.
Our kicker missed fewer field goals than theirs did. So there's that. But I don't know if you noticed, I went ahead and put on my Texas Rangers hat because I'm ready. Hey, but how about that Aggie volleyball team? All right.
Okay.
They're playing for a championship.
Yes,
all right?
they are. Yes, they are.
Historic season for them as well.
Yeah,
but no, it was
coming out.
Honestly, here's the deal. I feel like A&M did better than I expected this season. And, And
the truth of the matter, Chris, is I feel like we're recording later today than I had expected because you needed time to mourn.
I had to run some errands. No, Robert, here's the deal. I'm pretty realistic when it comes to Aggie football. And one of the things that I've noticed under the now previous offensive coordinator is that our offense seems to be pretty good at the beginning of the season, but once the other teams start figuring out how to stop the offense,
making adjustments,
we didn't figure out how to keep them from stopping the offense. So, man, that's been the struggle the last 2 seasons under this OC. And so, he's gonna go on to a head coaching position and take his mediocre play calling with him. And you know what? I good for them.
Oh,
all right,
my goodness.
They deserve one another. So, no, he's a good guy, and he did a good job. But
he did a good job. He got you guys.
I just think we need. We need some. We need some more pieces to get us a little further. But you know what? We're in the conversation, Robert.
It's a fun season.
We're in the conversation.
That's right.
And
people are talking about
playing significant football at the end of the season. It's not the normal November collapse.
Yeah. So, aside from like the normal, November collapse, which is really just we're talking about the Cowboys. But anyway, we won't talk about them tonight. What else is going on in your
talk about?
Yeah, no. What else is going on in your week? What's up?
Man, we're getting ready for Christmas. Forever, right? Christmas Eve services are coming up. Can't wait for that. Did some, I guess we saw boys play basketball this week, and just a good time of the year. I love Christmas season, and I love everything. It is busy for someone who works at a church, and I had to shoot a video message for the 28th. Because we do online only the last Sunday. Just after doing 7 Christmas Eve services, we're not canceling church. We just moved it up earlier in the week, and we're doing almost twice as many as Sunday. So, but also, we want to do a service where it takes close to 400 ministry leaders, which is what we call volunteers.
I was going to say, gives you an opportunity to let your
pull off a Sunday,
take a breath.
Yeah, take a breath.
Because
and
after
staff
Christmas
that's
Eve
been there,
services, it's a lot of work.
So all of our musicians were there Friday. They're all there today. They'll be there tomorrow, pretty much all day. Musicians, vocalists. I'll be there pretty much all day. When I say all day, I don't mean I'm going home after normal services. I'm staying for run through and dress rehearsal. And so when you start looking at all that, we want to just honor those people and their families and say, hey, we get it. We want you to be with your family. So, but that also means that I have to, get another message together for the 28th. And so I'm excited about it, Rob. I think it's going to be good. But hey, you're preaching on the 28th. So I'll likely.
So here's the deal.
Oh,
I might
maybe
be.
not.
No, so here's the deal. Here's the deal. Pastor is on call for a grandkid. And so grandkid comes, I'm in. And so it's sort of like weirdly best case, worst case scenario. I do have a message ready to go. Chris, I even preached it tonight with the kids.
On purpose? Like, was it a run through or were you addressing some issues?
It was a run through. But it was a run through.
Yeah.
So we so as a family, Hillary was coming back from Annapolis, but as a family, me and the kids, we were doing coloring books tonight. And yes, I was sitting there coloring with them because, when they ask you to do something like that, your answer should be yes, if you can, right? So, I'm sitting there coloring, which is not necessarily my strong suit. And my daughter, I might add, I said, where are the colored pencils? She goes, why? Because you can't be trusted with crayons.
God,
kidding. I was like, well played. No,
so is Joshua coloring too?
Dude, he was on point. He was using these like felt tip marker things.
Okay.
And I mean, it was impressive. I was like,
Robert, coloring is not my strong suit.
Hey.
Anywhere, anytime, ever.
You should see mine. But instead of just straight coloring, right? I'm giving them my sermon. I gave them a run through. And it was really actually kind of funny because Krista and them both, they gave me some feedback, like, hey, what did you mean by this? I don't think that was clear. Hey, you might want to tighten that up here or whatever. So it was actually kind of nice.
Nice.
That I know my team at work, they appreciate how much I value that because I do that with them all the time. So at work, right? This week, as a matter of fact, I had a big meeting on Monday. I had a big meeting on Tuesday. I had two big meetings on Thursday. So this week was a lot of high level presentations, high level talking. And then on Wednesday, I had no kidding, meetings all day long. So this week, by the time I got to Friday, I was like totally spent. I was burnt. It was like preaching every day for 4 days in a row. So I'd like know what the old pastors feel like from the back time. But I do it all the time. I will run by what I'm thinking I might say to my team, and then I'll stop and I'll go, okay, so now that you've heard it, how does that feel? What am I missing?
What do I need to say differently?
Yeah. And my team at first was like, no, it sounds great. And I'm like, okay, I got it. The boss said something amazing, but for real, what would you tell them, boss?
Yeah.
What would you tell me to do differently? And
how do I make this better?
And so they do. They give me great input. And like tonight, like I said, I'm sitting there coloring with them. I did learn one thing, Chris, though. I can't color and preach at the same time. It's not possible. I can't do it.
I don't know why. I don't know why.
Like the brain does not work that way. But anyway, I did my run through with them tonight. So maybe if I do preach in a week, it'll be, I'm ready to go. I have it all written out, and I'm not necessarily.
Well, if it happens, how could I watch it? Is it live streamed?
It'll be live streamed. Actually, I'll put the link to our service. I don't know why I haven't ever put it in our show notes. I'll put the show notes. In the show notes, there'll be a link to our church's live stream.
So last week you dropped like we've got one that's already recorded from last week. Yeah. But you dropped one that was previously recorded. So when is this one going to be recorded?
I'm going to drop this one on Monday. And we'll save the one we have in the hole for the following week. In the event that through the crazy of the holiday season, we've got one in the
very
bag.
Well could happen. So,
yeah, it's part of life. But Chris,
I go a little bit MIA after Christmas.
You do MIA,
yeah,
even with your family. But that's okay.
It's not on purpose. If you're here, you would know where IA was. But,
hey, dude, when we were talking about what we wanted to chat about tonight, I wanted to jump back into Proverbs. I don't think I'm going to drop that one about Proverbs before this one. So we did Proverbs last time, although people are going to get it a little out of order. But I wanted to do Proverbs again.
Matter. They're not built on each other.
Yeah, because honestly, Chris, you had mentioned last time about how much you loved Proverbs and how much you liked reading it and how much you get out of it. And it's Proverbs 3 that, as I was reviewing and I was thinking about what we'd chat about tonight, I was like, man, I really want to do Proverbs. And Proverbs 3 is where I just want to dig in there. If I know you said you had notes, so I'm definitely interested in what you have to say. By the way, it is killing me to watch you push the button from the bottom side of your microphone.
It's the right place, man. It's so much easier.
All right. Fair enough. All right. So, hey, y'all, here's what we're going to do. We're going to read through some of Proverbs 3, and then we'll talk about it. I have an idea. I want to try to get 1 through 6 for now, if that's okay. So it says Proverbs 3 says, "My son, do not forget my teaching, but keep my commands in your heart. For they will prolong your life many years and bring you peace and prosperity. Let love and faithfulness never leave you. Bind them around your neck, write them on the tablet of your heart. Then you will win favor and a good name in the sight of God and man. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him, and he will make your paths straight." Now, we can keep going because I love the next part of this. But for some reason, Chris, Proverbs 3 is, I don't know, I think maybe one of my favorite chapters in Proverbs.
Yeah. I love it because there's actually there's a pattern here. I don't know if you've ever seen it.
No, I don't. Go ahead.
There's a command or instruction and then a promise.
Dude, I like it. Yeah, I don't think I've seen it like that before. Yeah,
like it goes.
Give us an example here.
So he says, "Never forget the things I've taught you. Store my commands in your heart. If you do this, right there's the command. Do these things. Command. If you do this, you'll live many years, and your life will be satisfying." Right? He's like, "Hey, I've given you great instructions. Never forget them. Like live by them. And if you do that, then here's the benefit. Here's the payoff. Right?
Yeah.
And then it goes to verse 3, "Never let loyalty and kindness leave you. Tie them around your neck as a reminder. Write them deep within your heart." There's the command, right? Here's the promise.
Yes.
"Then you will find favor with both God and people, and you will earn a good reputation." So there's this like, hey, if you'll do this, here's the good news. Here's the payoff.
Let's work through it like that then. What is the command promise of the first section here? What would you say is the command promise, right? It says, go ahead.
I mean, to me, it's going, hey, it's kind of like the overarching deal of, hey, right. God's commands, God's wisdom will lead, if you'll follow them, if you'll tie them around keep them in your heart.
Don't forget my teaching. Keep my commands in your heart.
Right. If you will do that, then it's going to lead to a satisfying life. Right. And that's what people are longing for. That's what people are looking for. And when you look for it other places and you go after it, I mean, really, that's what people are looking for in life. And they're realizing that anywhere else, they can't get no satisfaction.
I see what you did there.
I mean, that's the struggle. But why are people looking for satisfaction? I think it's because God designed us to be satisfied. But not only did He design us to be satisfied, He's given us how to find that satisfaction.
I know.
In life. Yeah.
It's this promise of prolonged many years, frankly, prolonged life with peace and prosperity if you follow my commands. And it's fascinating. No matter what way you stack it up, if you go into Proverbs or into Scripture and you say, what are His commands? What is He actually calling us to do? They are things that just naturally lead just
to a better life, right?
Absolutely.
I like to say that, like, whether you believe in God or not, whether you trust Him or not, following His ways will make life better and make you better at life. Like, it's just because He's designed life to work a certain way. And I took that from a pastor somewhere, but it's that whole idea that it makes you better at life and makes life better. I think about like this, Rob. Remember that truck that you had that you forgot to change the oil on?
Okay, hey. Since we're gonna bring it up, Here's the deal. It was a truck that ate a lot of gas, and I drove a long way, so I only drove it like on the weekends. And for a truck that you only drive on the weekends, I didn't necessarily keep it up as much as I should have. And it was a really cold morning. And what are you going to do when the engine decides to eat itself because it doesn't have any oil?
Well, that one's on me. But here's my point. Like, there's instructions on how that thing is meant to run.
It is.
If you'll follow the instructions for the way it's meant to be kept up and taken care of. And
hey, dude, like a truck I have out in the driveway right now. This truck I have in the driveway right now. It has 288,000 miles.
Dude, that's
288,000 miles. And it's because it gets regularly taken care of because
you changed the oil.
Well, and I learned a good lesson. Hey, Chris, it's not about perfection; it's about direction.
but really, I think that though is a great kickoff to this entire idea. Is that why is the wisdom from God so important?
Absolutely.
Because it's designed to help drive you and lead you to the satisfaction that He created you for, that you are looking for.
What you want, what you're longing for, that whole. Absolutely.
And so many people are looking for it. And they look for their whole life, and they still haven't found what they're looking for. And so let's keep rolling.
Fire tonight. Hey, you know what? Verse 3 and 4 is another really good one, right?
Yes. So, and I actually love this too.
Go ahead.
Because he says, never let, what'd you say?
Yeah, you go ahead. You do.
Okay, it says, never let loyalty and kindness leave you. Tie them around your neck as a reminder. Write them deep within your heart. That's the instruction. Hey, it's about loyalty and kindness. And what does he say? Then you will find favor with both God and people, and you will earn a good reputation. Here's what he says. That's how you have friends.
I know, right?
Right?
You know what mine says?
What's that?
Mine says, don't let love and faithfulness leave you.
Oh, that's good.
Don't let love and faithfulness.
Yeah.
To your point, because then you will win favor and a good name in the sight of God and man. Then you'll have friends.
Yeah.
Right? Because if you love God and you love people, I'm going to go on a limb here and say that most people aren't going to be opposed to that.
Yeah. If you're kind to others, you're loyal, or you demonstrate that. When I say love, it's not like romantic love. It's a sacrificial, serving, doing what you can to help others. You care for others, or genuine well-being. Oh, guess what? People like it when you care about them. People, he's going,
right.
You'll earn favor. But, and I love it. He goes with both God and people. Why with God? Because you're loving others the way God loved you. because you're demonstrating God's love, and God loves it when we love each other, right? And so, and he says, "Then you'll earn a good reputation." And I enjoy that because it's one of those deals of going, what do you want to be known for, kind of deal. Like, what better thing to be known for than, man, that guy is just one of the kindest guys. He's one of the most loyal people I know. That guy, man, he's one of the most loving people we know. Like, isn't that a great reputation to have?
Yeah, absolutely. The one that
I think we've kind of oversold in this stoic like reputation. That guy's pretty tough, and he's okay, but and that's great and all, but man, give me the guy who cares about people, who wants to serve people, and genuinely wants the best for others.
Yeah,
I'll take that guy as a friend.
Yeah, I have a friend who's another program manager of a program here on base, and before he was a program manager, he was doing some sort of rotation up at the Pentagon. And I knew he was kind and loving. You know, he's that kind of guy. I know he loves the Lord. He just smells like Jesus before I found out that he loves Jesus, right?
Yeah.
And so one day, I wasn't in my current position. This was years ago. He comes walking up with a group of people that are multi-service, so various services. It was back when I was doing a fellowship. And he comes walking up with them. And I'm like, "Hey, bud, where'd you come from? It's so good to see you." You know, hug it out. "Hey, man, what's going on? How did you go?" He goes, "I found your friends wandering around the Pentagon. They couldn't figure out where they were going. So I said, well, where are you trying to get?" And he's like, "I just figured out I'd walk them here to make sure they got to where they were going." And I was like, I am not shocked. Not even
genuinely good, cares about people.
He cared and loved for those people. He didn't even know those people, but he cared and loved people. So yeah, I think that's it's the command, and then it's the promise. And of course, then the next command is trust in the Lord with all your heart, lean not on your own understanding, in all your ways submit to him, and he will make your path straight. So the command is trust in God, don't lean on yourself, and he will make your path straight. Have you ever seen that play out in your own life, Chris?
Oh yeah. Yeah. When you're not trying to figure it out on your own, you go, "God, I need you to show me the path." Robert, I mean, the path back to paradise was me seeking God and going, "All right, God, I don't really know what direction you want me to go at this point, but I'm open." And I didn't draw this up. God's like, "Hey, well, what are the desires I put on your heart?" And I began to list it out. And when I looked at it, he was like, "Isn't that Grace Fellowship in Paradise?" And I was like, "I guess it is. Yeah, it fair. Absolutely is. Yeah." And so he made it straight for me, made it clear for me, but it's not seeking your own way, right? And you've experienced that in your own life when you were trying to, we've heard your story about just test pilot school where you're kind of going, "All right, God, it's got to be this, right, or that."
Yeah, you're going to tell me what to do. Hey, Chris,
as you were seeking him, the answer came, and it wasn't anything on your radar at the time.
I know. And this is what I tell people. I tell people all the time, if you feel like the Lord is leading you in a certain direction, go all in. And so like last night we were eating dinner, and Chris, we went out to IHOP last night. I know, sort of weird, but it was like me and a couple of the kiddos, and they were like, I was like, "Hey, you want to be weird and go to IHOP for dinner?" And so we did.
There you go.
But one of the things was interesting. I was asking my middle one, I was like, "Hey, where are you thinking about going and visiting this other college?" And she's like, "Oh, I don't need to." I'm like, "Really? Well, why not? I mean, why don't you want to go visit that college?" She goes, "Because I already know where I'm going." And I was like, "Okay, well, do tell." And she's like, "I'm going to Liberty." And I'm like, "Oh," I was like, "I didn't know you made the decision." She goes, "No, God told me that on my prayer walk." And I go, "Well, then
that's great."
I looked at her, I go, "Well, then you got to go all in." Like,
there you go.
We're not going to visit another college. You're going to go all in.
Doesn't make sense.
I tell people that all the time. If you feel like the Lord has told you something, go all in on it. Because if your heart is in a reckless abandon to follow him, not leaning on your own understanding, but follow what you think he's telling you, if you're wrong, and most people, this is where people get stuck. They get stuck with, what if I'm wrong? What if I'm wrong? That's where they get stuck. And what I would tell you is, if you're wrong, he's big enough to still get the best out of it for you, because your heart is going all in on him, not his direction. He's like, "Hey, man, they love me so much. They're going all in on what they think I'm saying. And it's not really what I'm saying, but I can I can work with an all-in heart.
That's right.
I can work with an all-in soul and spirit. So yeah, I love this. The command is don't lean on your understandings and go all in on him, because he's gonna make your path straight. Now they have a few more. Do you want to keep going? Because I do.
Yeah, a couple more.
Let's do a couple
Verse
more.
7.
Go ahead.
He says, "Don't be impressed with your own wisdom. Instead, fear the Lord and turn away from evil." So what is it? Basically, hey, don't think you have it all figured out. Instead of, and you have to understand that the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, is what he's saying. He says, instead, fear the Lord and turn away from evil. Basically, seek his wisdom, right? Listen to his wisdom. Don't be impressed with your own wisdom, thinking you know better. He says, and here's the promise. Then you will have healing for your body and strength for your bones, that he will strengthen your life from the inside out. That you will experience. Why? Because he leads you with wisdom. He shows you what you need to know. That and Robert, I actually do think, and here's a fun hot sports take, right? Like, I think that so often when we get sick, the first thing we do is we call the doctor. But who knows our body better than God?
I know.
Like, how come we don't say, all right, God, what is there something you want me to know about this sickness? Is there an illness? Is there, like, we seek the advice of doctors, which I get it. Like, there's something to it. I have great friends who are doctors, and there's a doctor who goes to our church that she's our PCP. And so it's one of those deals of, I'm not saying, but here's what I love is that she seeks the Lord as she looks at diagnosis and goes, all right, Lord, show us what you want us to see, kind of deal. I love that, because it's not about, all right, well, here's all my knowledge, and so here's what I need to do. And God goes, well, I can lead you to healing just as good or better than anyone else.
Yeah.
Right. And I can strengthen your body.
Sometimes it is to a doctor. Sometimes it is to doing something different. Maybe it's just changing a lifestyle, frankly. I do like this one, because the one, I don't know how yours exactly phrases it, but I love this part. It says, do not be wise in your own eyes. Mm-hmm. That is a piece of scripture that for some reason keeps hitting me in the face over and over and over at work. And there's these times when I say, hey, this is what I think we should be doing. I think we should go this way. And God's like, don't be wise in your own eyes. And then I will stop and I say, Lord, what do you want me to say? Actually, Chris, this week on Thursday, I was sitting in a meeting. It's something that, Chris, we've prepared for. I've been working on this one meeting. I'm not kidding, since November, like I think first week in November. And I've been working on the talk track, and I've been working on what I'm going to say. And I've been, I have a team that does like a lot of the I got to tell myself, they do a lot of the really hard work. I have to be a spokesmodel for the team. So I have to be a good carrier of the message. And I'm sitting there, and
you're the face.
I'm the face. I know it's not a pretty face, but it's a face.
Oh, it's a face for radio.
There we go. I see what you did there. Well, Chris, I took a minute and I stopped and I said, Father, what do you want me to say today? Like, we've been working on this since November, but what is it that you want me to say? What is it that you want me to get to, and, highlight from this brief? I kind of know what I want to do, but it just feels wise in my own eyes. It feels wise according to me, but what is it that you want me to do? And so I took a minute. I like, Chris, there's people in the room, they're watching me prepare, just because we're all kind of doing our thing and we're just hanging out. And I just closed my eyes, I sat a minute, I prayed, and I opened my eyes back up. And then I went through my brief, and I have a blue pen. That's how I prepare for briefs. And I went through my brief with the blue pen, and I did my thing. I got ready for it. Chris, it was phenomenal. It's probably one of the best briefs I've ever had. I can't take credit for it, because I stopped and I said, okay, God, what is it you want me to say? And so I love this verse, because it says, don't be wise in your own eyes. For that piece of it.
And here's what I love is you apply this to your everyday life and to your work life, because Absolutely. I think sometimes read this and people go, oh, that's great. But what does that look like everyday life? That's what it looks like in everyday life, is that you understand that God doesn't just care about your church attendance. He cares about, the way you do your job. He cares about the way you lead your family. He cares about the hobbies that you're a part of. He cares about the way you handle your resources. He cares about these, and he wants you to listen. And here's the other thing: don't be wise in your own eyes. Here's one of the things that I've begun to learn in my own life is that wisdom seems to walk slower than I do.
Oh man. Say that again. That's good. I'm writing that down. I'm going to have to remember that.
Wisdom seems to walk slower than I do, meaning I have to slow down. or I'll get so far out ahead, and wisdom's going, whoa, 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 whoa. There's more to it. You need to listen. You need to, right. And when we're wise in our own eyes, man, we rush past wisdom.
Yeah,
we leave, and it's learning to walk a little bit slower. Say, all right, Father, like teach me, show me. Like I need to hear you. I need to know how you want me to handle this.
Absolutely. Hey, I want to do one more section of command and promise. And,
let's do it.
And because you're a pastor, I'm going to lead this one. Okay, Chris? And
okay,
you're going to follow because you're a pastor. You're not allowed to talk about this.
But oh my gosh.
Chris, I'm coming hard in the paint on this one. I'm going to come hard in the paint on this one. And so folks, if you're listening, just know that this is, Chris would probably say the same thing, but as a pastor, you're probably reaching for what you don't realize is your wallet at this very moment. But I'm going to say it because here's the thing, Chris. Here's the thing. God's word has a command and promise here, and I want to hit it. So in verse 9, it says, honor the Lord with your wealth, with the first fruits of all your crops. Then your barns will be filled to overflowing, and your vats will brim over with new wine.
Yeah.
Let me say that again, folks. Honor the Lord with your wealth, with the first fruits of all your crops. The command is to honor the Lord with what you make. The first fruits, your wealth, that's not like what you have left over to give at the end of the month. Okay.
No, in fact, first fruits in their culture was known to be the first 10%. That's right. What it meant when it said first fruits. There was no ambiguity to the Hebrews when he was writing this.
No, they knew exactly what it meant. He's talking about.
First fruits was the first 10%.
10% because it was pre-law. It was literally go all the way back before the law was even given. That was what Abraham gave to Melchizedek. Yeah. He gave 10%. It's the first fruits.
And we see in Romans, the first fruits mentioned, still talking about the same thing.
Absolutely.
We see other times throughout Scripture, the first fruits, it's talking about the first 10%. Yeah. Now, here's what he says, then he will fill your barns with grain and your vats will overflow with good wines. You know what he's saying? Is that you'll always have enough.
God will give you enough.
He will, and you can't outgive God,
you
Robert.
Cannot.
And here's what I find so interesting is that a lot of people go, I just, I'm in a financial struggle right now. I just can't. And I'm going, the way I read this in my own life, and Robert, I've been there. I'm not trying to come down hard on anyone, Robert. Like I've been there where I've wrestled with it. And here's what I discovered. I can't afford not to.
That's what I was going to say. You can't not, because if you're in the struggle, like it's imperative that you give.
It's the multiplier. It's the multiplier. It's the faith multiplier. Yes.
Someone told me once, they're like, hey, I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth like you. That's literally, Chris, I had somebody tell me that once.
Yeah, and I wasn't born with a silver spoon. We had 0 silver spoons. We had plastic spoons in our family.
Silver spoons. And I don't begrudge at all how God provided for us as kids.
No way.
Because God's provision in our household was so ridiculously evident. Chris, it was ridiculously evident to the point that I have never not given 10%, even in the hardest of times, because I'm so convinced that it is the multiplier. Yeah. That's the deal.
And when you give 10% when it's easy, that requires no faith. And without faith, it's impossible to please God. And in fact, that's something that God challenged Julie and I with several years ago when we launched into this generosity initiative. And what I discovered is that we started auto drafting our giving because honestly, I kept forgetting. And I was like, I can't forget. And here's the deal: I pay all my bills that way, so it's not even like I'm doing it. It's like one of those things of going, well, it's more important than my mortgage. And my mortgage is an auto draft. Why would I not?
That's exactly right.
But here's the deal: my auto draft became autopilot. It no longer took any thought. It no longer took any faith. And God, I felt like God said, "Hey,
time to take it off auto draft.
Would you like to ask me what I want you to give at this point?" Like, and that's that whole deal of decide in your heart. What is he talking about? That you ask God, what is it that you want us? Because it was for us where we are. It was above and beyond.
Well, because I was about to say
it was the starting point. It was the basis. It was the foundation.
That's right. There's 2 parts to this verse 9, Chris, and you hit it just right on, which is honor the Lord with your wealth, and then with the first fruits of all your crops. Okay, so there's 2 parts here. It's honor the Lord with your wealth. And so when you get into the New Testament, there is what I call tithes and then there's offerings. And so if you were to go examine my bank account and you're going to go examine what we had, Chris hit it right on the head. 10% is non-negotiable. It's to me, it's the Lord's. It's not mine.
Yeah.
That is his
Yeah.
part of my of what I make.
Well, no, it's all his.
It's all
he
his.
just lets us keep 90%.
That's right. It's just non-negotiable. I don't even consider it. It's like it's his, right?
Yeah.
And then there is the offerings. And so if you were to look at our bank account, there'd be offerings. And I'm not going to give you the real specifics, but there's offerings. And Chris, there's something in my heart where I'd love to get to a point where I'm giving like 90% and only living off 10.
That'd be sweet.
And maybe that just is going to require a lesser lifestyle. And I say that in very seriousness. Maybe that requires a lesser lifestyle. And I don't know, maybe God will get me there. It's not about perfection. It is about direction. God hasn't given me that directly to me, but he has asked me to honor him with my wealth and my first fruits. And that is what I seek to do. And I am convinced, absolutely convinced, that when we do that as a family here, that we don't have to worry about it. I get in my truck, Chris, my personal truck, not the one that has 288,000 miles on it, but the one that has, I don't know, 200 and something thousand miles on it. And it needs a head gasket right now. There's no doubt. It needs a head gasket. I'm putting in a lot of coolant in it. I don't have the money for a head gasket. I don't have the time for a head gasket. So I put in coolant about once a month, and the truck only goes like 3 miles one way. It comes 3 miles the other way. Chris, I'm legit so thankful to the Lord that every time I turn my truck on, it starts. I drive to work. It gets me where I need to go. I only have to put coolant in it, and I drive it home. And I don't have to do it that often. And I'm just genuinely grateful every time I get in, and I'm like, oh Lord, thank you that it starts again. Thank you that it's just the head gasket.
Do you remember the year you and I had a conversation? We were joking about taxes, and you're like, man, I had to pay Uncle Sam. I was like, you should have just written the check to me, because I got paid by Uncle Sam, because we were in a season of life where we were on one income. I was at a church that we had newly born babies, and we qualified like in a very low tax category that we got more from the government than you paid in taxes. I was like, you should have just sent me the check and we'd call it even. But it was one of those deals, though, even in those times that it was that tight, we just decided that, and Robert, we never went without. He always did this right here, that he filled our barns with grain. We always had grain, and we always had what we needed. I was working at a church, so we didn't have good wine. And we weren't allowed to drink in that church. So, but that being said,
killing me, that's hilarious.
He took care of us. And so like, I always struggle because I want to tell people, hey, I get it. I get how it's scary. But for us, it's a faith decision, not a financial decision.
100%. Absolutely.
It is and God has always showed up. And man, I think that's why I love this proverb, because it's so, or these proverbs in general, they're so practical.
Yeah.
Hey, if you'll do this, here's what you'll discover.
So we have 5 promises tonight. The promise was, don't forget my teaching. The commands. We had 5 commands and 5 promises. The commands were, don't forget my teaching, be loving and faithful, trust God, not yourself, fear the Lord, and give first to him. All right. Yeah. Because his promise is you're going to get a prolonged life with peace. He will give you favor with God and men. He will make your path straight, meaning he'll tell you where you need to go. He brings you health and nourishment, and he will make sure that you have enough. He'll make sure you have enough. And so, Chris, if you wanted to bring us home, I thoroughly love this proverb, but how would you land the plane in the command?
Well, before we land the plane, Robert,
go ahead.
I just want to ask, do you want to tease at all the clips that we're going to drop?
Yeah, I mean, we can. This is a good time to do it. Do you have the ability to show it real quick?
I do.
All right, let's show it. We do have some clips we're going to be dropping while Chris is bringing it up.
All right.
Good old.
You can set it up for a second.
Good old Riverside brought 3 clips together on what we do in the majority of our podcasts. And if you were to call it bloopers, that's probably what we're talking about. So hopefully you can watch. If you can't, you can at least hear it. Chris is going to play one of the 3 clips, and it's pretty funny. You've probably heard every bit of this tonight, Chris. Go ahead, hit us
All right, you ready?
With the one and only clip we're sharing tonight. We got 2 more coming out. Go ahead.
All right, you see it, right?
I see it.
All right, here we go.
Anyway,
Sorry, I hit mute in the middle of it, forgetting that it's using my mic to share.
That's all right. Apparently, we say anyway a lot. So anyway, Chris, why don't you bring us home? This has been a fun podcast. Hopefully, our friends have enjoyed it too.
Yeah, I think that the whole idea is that if you want to find the satisfaction God wants you to have, then you've just got to follow His way and His truth for your life, and He'll deliver on His promises.
Amen.
Thank you for taking time to join us today. Our prayer is that you are encouraged in your own journey as you let faith transform the way you live. If you enjoyed hanging with us today, let us know by leaving us a 5-star review and sharing our podcast with others. We look forward to discussing what God is doing in our lives in our next episode.